With college graduates earning 64% more than high school graduates, the issue of where we go to college is increasingly more relevant. With choices between liberal arts education and university education, it is important to choose wisely.
Kind of in our role, we are kind of helping students guide their research for colleges, and so students are usually coming in, and if they don't have a general idea of where they might want to apply, we'll show them all kinds of resources. Most of them are online now, to do some searches for general, to kind of come up with a college list that would best suit their needs. And those searches will ask questions like what size of school, what location, maybe if you had an idea of what major, and so it really narrows it down specifically for that student.
I'm planning to attend a four-year college for nursing.
I am going to a liberal arts college and I am an undecided major.
Yeah. I chose a technical center because it's more specific to what I want to do.
I would like to major in maybe like some kind of engineering. I've always had an interest in technology, specifically like electrical technologies, so hopefully I'll pursue something along those lines.
Many students who have made their decision about what they would like to study attend a trade or technical school or a university.
My name's Brooke and I am going to Essex Technical Center for dental assisting. Next year, it's a year long, and then I will be working in the dentist office. That's what I want to do because my mom's been in the dental field my whole life, and I guess that's just what I'm interested in.
I mean, I applied to a lot of state schools. Tuition's a big deal for me, so I tried to make sure that I could get just enough financial aid to not leave with too much debt, and I'm staying close because I don't want to have like a very high cost for traveling between home and my school. I like to see that the course load for a major is like engaging and fast-paced and interesting. So I need to make sure that I have access to a variety of math classes, that they do have, basics for the major that I'm interested in, and that there's more of almost like a liberal arts focus within that major. So if a college just focuses on using the computer to do 3D modeling for an engineering class, and it's entirely about just the math and the 3D modeling, I'll be a little put off because I am interested in the theory behind all that. And I think within the field of engineering, it would be really hard to be effective at that job or to make a lot of money at it if you're not, broadly specialized. If you look at like computer technology, having a good operating system is important, but having an understanding of visual communication, application interfaces, urban design, all that, you have to be specialized enough to be able to work within your field effectively, but also broadly aware enough to incorporate other aspects of the world into that technology. Technology doesn't exist outside the context of the world. It still needs to serve people, and so understanding people is a big deal for an engineer, I think.
For many students who want a broader curriculum of studies, they pursue a liberal arts education. Much like democratic Greece and Rome, the liberal arts find their definition in the pursuit of free thought in education.
I am going to Gettysburg College, and I don't know what I'm going to study yet. Something in the science field, medical field. I want to study abroad. I want to volunteer, internships.
Because even in bigger universities in the US, which are not liberal arts colleges, you have more freedom to change your courses, as opposed to if you go for like engineering in the UK, you can't really opt out of it and go for arts. You'll have to do the whole process all over again, which is not the case here, especially not in liberal arts colleges, which is why I applied to a liberal arts college and got in. Woohoo! So when I came here, I was thinking of studying economics and maybe political science, and that was all I had in my mind. I had more. I wanted to explore other things also, but those were the primary things that I wanted to do. Right. This is my second semester, and I haven't yet taken an economics course. Not because I don't want to, but because there were so many other options which I have taken and have enjoyed so much, and now I know more what I want to do, at least what I want to study. Even if I don't know right now what I want to do or opt for as a career, I know that I would like to study political philosophy, for example, or identity and conflict in South Asia, as opposed to taking an economics course right now. Because I know I've done some econ in high school. I know I don't want to repeat the same stuff, so I can catch up in the second year also, which is quite a lot of freedom, because that means I can broaden my horizons in other subjects during my first year, which is what I'm trying to do. Stick with it, knowing that it might lower my GPA and stuff, because again, society wants you to, it's not just society, you grow up wanting to achieve most in your life, right? And the problem is, do you want to achieve the most learning or the best grades and stuff? And that often clashes with each other. And I decided to choose learning, and that I think was a decision I'm very proud of. A person who has experienced more, has diversified his beliefs and viewpoints more, will be more useful to society, because he won't stick to sort of rigid or formulaic things. He will be willing to look for more creative solutions to problems, or more even more practical solutions to problems, because he knows other opinions so much.
Through the accounts of other systems of education that do not encourage academic freedom, the importance of liberal arts becomes apparent.
I came from Burma with 50 years of dictatorship. Here it's very liberal, you can say whatever you want, you can write whatever you want in your responses, but in Burma it's all very limited. You don't have democracy, that's the thing. So everything you learn is go through the Ministry of Education.
Okay.
So you can't criticize the government, anything, It's the right to speak up. So in Burma, you don't have the right to speak up or ask the question. You can't question back, and you can question back, but the teacher would or will not respond you, and they will pick you up if you just speak up your mind. Here, I have the right to just say whatever, to say what I believe. So that's one thing that draws me to here, and also the science education. So it's very poor in resources, because I came from a public school in Burma, so I've never been to a lab before, chemistry lab, and I did SAT chemistry without having been to a lab. So it's mostly teacher-centered learning. So you listen to your teacher giving a lecture more than it's not student-centered learning, but we're shifting from that. So probably the next generation will have better education than me, but I had an education where you could be targeted for asking so many questions, for being very active. They want you to be quiet all the time and listen to what they say instead of you speaking up. In Burma, we have this kind of textbook and everything. You can't go beyond that textbook. You have to answer exactly the same as the textbook, and say it's in my biology class, so they have this paragraph, and you have to memorize the whole paragraph, a and there and every commas and full stop, and then you have to reproduce the same script in every exam. That's what happened. So you can't write your own.
Many aspects of the liberal arts can be traced back to their origins in the classics.
Most of them are interesting, and classics in my own discipline is self-selective or self-selecting. So we tend to see the more interesting and more motivated and dare I say more talented students too. But the fact that we're smaller means that than some other units in the university, students get a lot more individualized attention from faculty, and they have more interaction with one another. Classes tend to be smaller, and we have our large lecture courses, but the language courses could be like 12 apostles sitting around the table, because it's you know, fairly small. Usually at 12 to 15 is the typical size. And so there's a lot of conversation and discussion in class. And you know, the type of student that's drawn to classics is one that is curious, willing to work hard, get satisfaction out of working hard, coming to understand something that you didn't understand before, having that be a motivator. People like that. People who like that come to classics.
In the end, the focus of a student's education comes from their individual skills and preferences.
Some students, liberal arts is a great match. For others, they may have interests like engineering, and so when I'm working with them, you know, that probably wouldn't be a great match. It could be, but not necessarily. I feel like it all depends on who the student is.
A diverse amount of educational options provides students seeking higher education with a number of great options.